Good time of day, guys. My name is Godzi, and welcome back to another episode of Wonderful Everyday. Last episode, we continued through Jabberwocky II, as we saw how Hiro ended up passing away, and we also formally met Kotomi here and the real Takuji, who basically looks like a little Tomosane, which is interesting, to say the least. And now we're standing on a hill after a pretty existential conversation, and Kotomi just shows up, so... Alright, let's see what she's doing here. Kotomi-san! Why are you here? Yuki-chan, you've grown so much. You were just a little girl before. You were about as big as Hasaki is now. You've really grown up. Hey, answer my question! Why are you here? She must have followed us. No, not at all. Then why are you here? It was determined that it should be so. Okay. Determined? Yes. Everything is determined by prophecy. Alright, crazy ass. The prophecy? See, you do still believe in that prophecy. Prophecy? The law of pre-established harmony is far more than a simple prophecy. Though a bad boy like you wouldn't understand that, Tomosane. What is this prophecy? This woman thinks that the entire history leading up to the world's ultimate destruction has already been determined. The world's destruction? Takuji said that you don't believe in that prophecy anymore. Of course he did. He's a smart child. Unlike you, he isn't picky about how he accomplishes his goals. Goals? What goal are you talking about? You guys are still trying to kill Hasaki. What? Kill Hasaki-chan? Kill her? What are you talking about? We only want to return her to the place where she belongs. And you're still deluded as ever. No! What? Hasaki? Hey, wait, Tomosane! Oh, I just accidentally double-clicked. I ran toward Hasaki's screaming voice. Tomosane! There's a cliff there, so be careful, it's dark out! Oh god. Hasaki! I cursed my own decision. I cursed the fact that I believed him for even a second. They hadn't changed at all. Takuji wanted to kill Hasaki and get back the power he thinks she stole from him. Takuji, you bastard! Oh, God. Alright, dude. You run as fast as ever, Nissan. You bastard. You told me you didn't believe in that crap anymore. Was that all a lie? I told you that? Yeah, you did. You said you weren't trying to get rid of Hasaki anymore. Yeah, I said that. What about it? Then what's with that blade? It's just a knife. Why are you pointing it at Hasaki? Hasaki wouldn't listen to me, you know. I didn't want to do this either. Listen to you? What are you trying to make Hasaki do? Why are you so angry, Nissan? This was inevitable. It wasn't inevitable! What are you trying to do? To return her to the sky. Oh boy. So we're already here? This must be the point where Takuji ends up getting killed by Tomosane, right? But then how does Yuki die? Kotomi-san! You're still trying to do that? Everything was determined in the moment that God created the world. It is pre-established harmony, determined in the moment of the world's genesis. What harmony? If that prophecy was right, then your child with the pastor should have been a lone boy. With the pastor? You've probably heard rumors about it before, Yukine. Hasaki and Takuji don't have Mamiya blood in their veins. The blood in their veins came from the pastor of the White Lotus Association. You betrayed my dad, you bitch! You had a child with some religious fraud. And you told that child that he was going to become the savior and save the world from destruction. That's right. I was supposed to be born as the savior. I was supposed to be the savior. Born from the union of the White Lotus Association founders' blood and the blood of the long line of shrine maidens in the Sanemi family. But that's not what happened. The reality is that you aren't any kind of savior. No, that's because the heritage was split between 2 children rather than just 1. That's right, Yukine. They believe that Takuji couldn't become the savior because Hasaki was born. It's not a belief, it's a clear and evident truth. The prophesied birth of a savior when these 2 powerful bloodlines come together. She prevented the fulfillment of that prophecy. The soul which should have been 1 was instead split in 2. That's not true! You aren't the savior! The only reason you were abandoned by the pastor is because he got bored of you. He just made up all that crap about the savior. Our father investigated all of that before he died. The pastor told that crap to every woman he took advantage of. What would journalists know anyway? They're just peasants, people of low birth. They can only examine things from the outside. But Dad But Dad only became a journalist to investigate those lies. So that you would know the truth. What truth is that? There is only one truth. The world will end, and before that day comes, I must come into my power as the savior on Earth. That day will never come! You're just a commoner! You'd be normal whether Hasaki was born or not. How dare you call me a commoner? Maybe you were the best at all those things in the past, but now I've far surpassed you. Then put down that knife and face me. If you're a man, then put your fists up and fight me. You don't have to listen to him, Takuji. Shut up! Tomosane has Sanemi and Mamiya blood in him. Of course, he's not an ordinary person either. But that only means that he is a hurdle for you to overcome as you follow your destiny and become the savior. It's okay if you can't beat him right now, Takuji. You will eventually be the person to save the entire world. That's bullshit! Don't bring Hasaki into your delusional fantasies. Keep that crap to yourself. Give Hasaki back! You really aren't good at making reasoned arguments. You shouldn't listen to the words of the ignorant, Takuji. Yes, I know. Hasaki is part of me to begin with. I need only to return her to the sky and regain the power that is rightfully mine. That's right. Everything will be saved once you do. Now, Takuji, return Hasaki's soul to the sky. Once you do, the lost part of your soul will return to you. Once I do... Oh. I will become the savior. Takuji will become the savior. That's ridiculous! I wasn't certain what to do. Perhaps what I did in that moment was reckless. I instantly leaped forward, right into Takuji. But Yukine ran in a different direction than I did. Huh? An instant. Such a short amount of time that it would be called a mere instant. Oh! He threw Hasaki over the cliff. Oh! Hasaki's small body flew over the edge with surprising speed. I panicked and ran toward the cliff, but I couldn't pull her back from over the edge. I lost my balance and fell. My eyes could only follow her over the edge. I followed her falling body. It floated in midair. Then gravity took over and she was sucked down into the abyss. Hasaki... Felt like my words were too late. My legs were too slow. I could only lament the fact that I was powerless. And then I saw something unbelievable happen right before my eyes. Yukine caught Hasaki in midair as she fell off the cliff. Oh. She didn't reach out with her hand and grab her. Yukine threw her entire body over the edge and caught Hasaki. I saw that happen in a flash, in a mere instant. Hasaki! Yukine! Both of them disappeared, sucked down into the darkness lying under the cliff's edge. Then came a sound I never wanted to hear. A sound that grates on the ears. Oh. So that's how Yuki dies and Hasaki survives the fall? An unimaginable, unpleasant sound. Simply a sound no one would want to hear. Hasaki! Yukine! I did it! I did it! I finally did it! That man pretending to be my father always got in my way before. The power I deserve to have is finally coming back to me. The part of my power which was given to Hasaki has finally returned to the sky. You did a good job. Yeah, I did it, Mother. I can finally be the savior. The hell are you saying? Now I can save the world. I can return the world to the sky. You fucking idiot. Now the pre-established harmony can unfold in the way God intended. Everything will proceed according to the prophecy. That's bullshit! Nissan. Maybe you don't understand this because you're just a commoner, but this isn't something to grieve over. It's not like I killed Hasaki. I merely returned her to the sky. Yes, I saw her when she ascended into the sky. How stupid are you? Oh, that's probably Hasaki crying. Huh? That voice. What? Whoa! Hasaki! Hasaki, is that you? Tomo-Nissan! Tomo-Nissan! Hasaki, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay, but... What's wrong? Yuki-san is... There's a bunch of blood, and she's not moving. Yukine? What happened to Yukine? She was protecting me. She was just protecting me. She held on to me the entire time, all the way until the end, until we fell down here. She hit the cliff over and over, but she... Yuki-san. Yukine. Don't move! I'm coming! That girl. Takuji, you have to do it now! Return Hasaki to the sky before the waning moon rises! Before Tomosane gets to her! Yes! Oh. I won't let you! Huh? Oh. Yeah! I won't let you! I won't let you! I won't let you! What did you do to Yukine? Wait. Oh, yeah. I won't let you kill Hasaki, too! Damn it! Oh. Wow. I can't believe you dodged that. You bastard! I'm going to end it here, Takuji. End it? Yeah! I won't hesitate any longer. Until I defeat you utterly and absolutely. You won't give up on those delusions. I will defeat you. Right here. Once and for all. With your bare hands? I have a knife in case you forgot. That's a perfect handicap to make this fair. That's no problem at all. I really wonder where that confidence comes from. Unlike you, I've been practicing every day. What? You act like you're the only one who's been working hard. In the past few years since you disappeared, I've worked myself to death. In order to surpass you, in order to make it clear to you that you are nothing more than a hurdle for me to overcome. And this is the result of all your hard work? Yes, exactly. But we aren't done yet. I'll return you to the sky, and then Hasaki will follow suit. And then I will become the savior. No, you won't. I will. I'm different from you. I am the chosen one. What's different? You're just some bastard that was born when some other man played around with your mom. Don't say that! Ah! My cheek burned. When I touched it, I could feel that it had been split open. It wasn't near a fatal wound, though. I took my stance to defend myself against the next attack, but... What is this? Huh? What is this? What? Oh, what the? How the fuck did... How did you get stabbed? Did you stab yourself? What? Okay. What? Takuji. Whoa. Stop screwing around. What's happening? I didn't have a clue what was happening either. The simple reality was that the knife previously in Takuji's hand was now plunged deep into his chest. Takuji, you... What's happening? I was supposed to become the savior and save the world. Takuji! I tried to pull the knife out of him. Stop! I heard someone behind me telling me to stop, but that didn't make me hesitate for even a moment. I pulled the knife out of Takuji's chest. I knew right away that I had done the worst thing possible in that situation. Oh. Huh. No, either way, such a deep wound out in the mountains would inevitably be fatal. But if I hadn't pulled the knife out, he would have had more time to live. But I did it. I pulled it out. What? What's happening? Suddenly, everything's going white. Takuji, hold yourself together! What? Nissan, you ran away into the white? That's a dirty trick. Takuji, hey! Huh? That's weird. Why won't my body move all of a sudden? Hold on! Don't leave me now! Huh? What are you doing, Nissan? Did I lose? Have I lost? Who cares about losing? Takuji, hold on, please! I see. I lost. That's why my body is getting cold. I can't move. But I won't die. I'll never die. Because my mother comes from a long line of shrine maidens capable of raising the dead. So I'll come back. Takuji! Yes, I'll absolutely never die. I'll survive, no matter what it takes. Yeah, I understand. Anyway, just don't go to sleep. I tore off my own shirt and tried to wrap it around Takuji's chest. There's a fly flying around near my microphone, so I'm sorry if you hear buzzing. Like, way to kill the fucking mood, you stupid idiot. Body's not dead yet. It doesn't have to decompose. But the flow of blood didn't slow down at all. Takuji! Hold on, please! I'm going to be fine. Don't worry. Nothing to worry about. I'll never die. Yeah, you won't die! You're going to be fine! That's right. Even if my body breaks. Takuji! I can just use yours, Nissan. Oh, what? Oh god, what the fuck? Takuji! I won't die. I won't! Takuji's fingers pressed into my temple like nails. It was beyond mere pain. How can he be so strong? Destroy him. Just like that. Destroy? Yes, Takuji. You can do it. Destroy his brain. Do it! His eyes narrowed to slits as he stared into mine. I will take your brain. I couldn't tell what was real and what wasn't. Takuji's fingertips broke through my skull. Excuse me? That's impossible. A human doesn't have nearly enough strength to break a person's skull like that. This must be an illusion. This can't be reality. As a trained fighter, I knew that better than anyone. The fact that it was impossible. And yet, my consciousness started to waver. I couldn't hold myself in this world. I'll take your body, Tomosane Nissan. So I guess this is farewell. Okay. Weird. It was a familiar scene. More familiar than any I had seen before. A scene I knew all too well. Oh, hi Yuki. You're wearing your school uniform now. Why though? Does this scene seem more fitting? Well, yeah. Until now I'd forgotten what had happened in the village. Wait. That's right. Oh. Oh, were we reminiscing or something? Okay, so now we're in the present? So this is present Tomosane, I'm assuming. After that, did I become Mamiya Takuji? Who knows? At the very least, you still looked like yourself. But I lived my life as Mamiya Takuji. According to the doctors at the hospital, the diagnosis was PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. But the villagers believed it was Mamiya Takuji's curse. In other words, the result of Sanemi Kotomi's powers. Kotomi-san was rumored to have the power to bring back the dead after all. So what actually happened then? What actually happened? How would I know that? It's not like you have any proof that you weren't possessed by Mamiya Takuji. You also can't deny the hypothesis that he might have been another personality conjured up by your PTSD. Both explanations seem to fit. But the reality is that, after that moment, you ceased to consider yourself to be Mamiya Tomosane, and instead called yourself Mamiya Takuji. I can't deny that. So where are we? Where do you think? The roof. Building C, maybe? Oh. Yep. Correct! That's not correct, is it? That dream just now, and my memories of the past. Was that all you're doing, Yukine? Yukine, it makes me really happy to hear you call me that again. Really happy. What's wrong, Yukine? She smiled as tears flowed from her eyes. It's just, you've really grown up, Tomosane. You're totally different from before. Look! She grabbed my arm. Your arms were so skinny before, but now they're way bigger than mine. Yeah, of course. A lot of time has passed since then. You're the same age I used to be back then, Tomosane. Am I really? Yeah, you are. You didn't really pay attention to me, so maybe you don't remember. To a little boy, all adults just look like adults. Maybe you're right. Yeah, back then I never knew your hands were so small. Are my hands that small? Yeah, I can't believe they're so small. Your entire hand fits here in my palm. Back when I was a kid, I always thought you were so big. But my chest is still pretty big. Alright, good bit. But it's not nearly as wide as my chest. Your body is way smaller than mine too. You're still pretty small for a boy, you know. And I'm still bigger than you. I guess so. You're a lot bigger than I am, Tomosane. Did you always know this? Know what? About our past. No. Unfortunately, it was quite a long time before I figured everything out. I didn't know until I learned how to look into this body's subconscious. With those lucid dreams, huh? That's right. Which means this is just a lucid dream modeled after the Building C roof. Yep. And what I just saw, those were my memories of the past. Yes. You sealed those memories away because they were too painful. I'm a really weak person, huh? That's not true. It might have actually been the curse, too. Even then, that would mean I lost to that curse. What are you talking about? When did you lose? I've done nothing but lose. Even on that day, you were the one who saved Hasaki. I promised to protect Hasaki, but I couldn't protect her at all. And then Takuji took control of me. But you managed to stand up to Takuji despite all of that. That's right. I stood up to him, and I lost. How disgraceful. What are you talking about? Isn't that okay? What? Of course it's not okay. This is all just a performance, right? A performance? Yeah, of course. Isn't this the perfect time for a hero to make his dramatic entrance on stage? Hero? Weren't you a hero? A shape-shifting hero, too. Hasaki had to go through some tough times, but couldn't this all be a nice way of spicing up the happy days you two have ahead of you? Yukine. You made a promise to Hasaki. On the beach that day. If Takuji is the savior, then I'm the hero. I'll stand up to protect you anytime you're in trouble. When you're in trouble, you can just think of it as a performance. Hasaki believed you until the very end. Believed that you were her hero. Yukine. And of course, so do I. Tomosane, you haven't actually lost until it's all over. No matter what happens, you won't lose. Because that's what a hero is, right? I believe in you too. You're the hero, Tomosane. You're the one who has to save the day in the end. What are you talking about? I already failed to protect you, Yukine. You dummy! You're Hasaki-chan's hero, not mine. But you just said you believed in me too. I do believe in you. Yukine gave me a big grin, but it was as if she was still fighting back her tears. I'll take him with me so you can keep moving forward. Take who? Takuji-kun. I'll take that crazy boy with me. You just need to keep moving forward right now. Forward? Yeah, that's right. Forward from here. Beyond the hill where the sunflowers bloom. Beyond that hill she can never climb. You have to go forward and find Hasaki-chan again. That hill. Come on, Tomosane. You can do it. Oh, huh. This is our farewell. Farewell? That's right. This is farewell for now. I have to help him get there. Yukine. Don't make that face, Tomosane. Huh. Look, you can feel my presence, right? Yukine held my hand tightly. Her hand was very small and soft. I will always be here, right next to you. I have to go, but even then, I'll still be right here by your side, Tomosane. Yukine slowly let go of my hand, and then she took a step back and shouted, Now, go forward! You're the hero, so you have to protect the heroine in the finale. Isn't that right, Tomosane? Oh? Huh? Just now. You're the Tomosane that Hasaki-chan always believed in. The one I always believed in. You'll win. It's your destiny. Nope. Nissan! Hi. Hasaki? Hasaki had taken hold of my leg just as I jumped from the rooftop. Oh. But Hasaki's weak body was being slowly pulled over the edge. Hasaki, let go! Huh? Are you stupid? Let go, right now! Hasaki's face turned pale. You sound like... Hurry up! At this rate, you're gonna fall too! Let go! Tomo-san! Tomo-san! You're alive! You didn't disappear! Hasaki lost her footing for a split second. Her body slipped further over the edge of the roof. And yet... I'm so glad! I'm so glad! I thought you had disappeared forever, so I understand, just let go! Let me go! No! Big tears welled up in Hasaki's eyes. Hasaki tried to say something through her tears, but it wouldn't come out. She cried as her strength slowly began to fail her. Her body was slowly pulled over the edge. Nevertheless, she didn't loosen her grip on my leg at all. She did the complete opposite. Her tiny hands took a stronger hold on my body so that she wouldn't lose me. What are you doing, Hasaki? I won't. She raised her head and looked me in the eyes. I thought she was despairing for me, but when she looked up, I saw a smile on her tear-stained face. What are you saying? I said I won't let you go. Are you dumb? At this rate, you'll fall too. That doesn't matter. It does matter. I'm here to protect you. I don't care about that. I don't care. Hasaki. I had never seen Hasaki raise her voice like that before. She never let her emotions show like this. She never expressed her own will like this before. I'm not just someone to be protected. I love you, Tomo-san. I was so sad because I thought you died. I thought there was no reason to keep living. So I never really cared about saving Takuji-san because I thought he had killed you. But Takuji-san, he looked just like you. So I wanted to save him. That's it. But why? Why can't I save you, Tomo-san? Why am I just here to be protected? If you're still alive, Tomo-san, if you're still there, then I'll never let go. Never, never! I won't let you go, even when I'm dead. You dummy. It's obvious why you can't save me. I'm here to protect you. I'm the hero. I'm only here to protect you. It felt like I was floating. It was as if the air had suddenly grown colder. Sand and dust floated in the blue sky, dancing in the moonlight. I felt myself transported from solid ground to a world of vertical descent. Hasaki and I were sucked down. I saw a silhouette of Hasaki's body backlit by the bright blue moon. We were utterly detached from the ground. It was like we were flying in midair. I heard sirens in the distance. Sirens echoing in the sparkling azure sky. I looked up at the infinite sky as I fell, so that I wouldn't lose sight of Hasaki above me. The moon laughed. God laughed. At the comical sight below. At this comedy and this tragedy. The stars went round, like they were dancing. The night sky ridiculed us. God ridiculed us. As if an innocent child had knocked the plate of heaven to the ground. The world became empty, but I said this. Eat shit! God doesn't matter. Fate doesn't matter. I'm Tomosane. Mamiya Tomosane. I made a promise. A promise to protect Hasaki. I promise to be Hasaki's hero, so I won't falter. I won't back down, no matter who I'm facing. If I meet God in heaven, then I'll punch him right in the nose. If I meet Satan in hell, then I'll punch him right in the nose. I'll break fate's chains with my own 2 hands. The great comedy and tragedy of life can eat shit for all I care. Hasaki! I reached out with all my might. There was no answer. No, I don't know if she even heard me. It was such a short period of time before we hit the ground that I don't know if my words ever reached her. But I yelled out to her. Hasaki! The cool air of the night suddenly grew hot. The light of the moon dimmed. The dancing stars ceased to frolic and instead looked on in silence. I ran on thin air. I fought against God's will and ran. Then my hand reached Hasaki. Tomosane! Freefall. The unavoidable fate which we call gravity finally sucked us down to Earth. For men who cannot fly through the air, the only choice is to fall to Earth. But I refused. There was no despair in that moment. The only choice I had was to do what I had to do. What I had to do in that very moment. To live. And what I had to do to live tomorrow. Gravity tried to kill us both. It tried to slam us into the ground and end it all. Ah! I struggled in the air. It was futile. Man is powerless in the air. There's no fighting it. There's nothing man can do to fight gravity. And yet I struggled in the air. The power was struggling before a colossal foe. I didn't care if I looked pathetic. I would do anything, pathetic or otherwise, if only to live. Ah! That was not... I am bad at screams. As I kicked out my leg, it broke through the glass on the building. Yeah! The glass broke, and I crashed into the building's eaves. Nice! Agony raced through my breaking body, but I held on to Hasaki. Pain was irrelevant. I held Hasaki to my chest. I wasn't going to let anyone or anything hurt her. The eaves didn't catch us. They merely threw us into the air once again. Another impact, just like the last. But I could no longer see what I was even crashing into. I had lost all sense of balance or direction, falling and colliding with whatever was in my way as I fell from the school building. That's probably what happened. An untold number of impacts left my ears ringing. It was a disturbing sound. There was no pain. There was no light. The only thing I could feel was Hasaki's warmth in my arms. The moon laughed. The moon laughed at me. The moon laughed at me, as if it hadn't just seen me take that fall. As if it knew nothing of the impure things in this world. As if it was ignorant of the filthy, the spoiled, the rotten things on earth. It simply bathed us with its beautiful light. And it laughed at the world, dyed with blue moonlight underneath it. The moon laughed. Underneath that laughing moon, I could only fall and get beaten up by the unceasing blows of gravity. I fell, powerless to do anything else. At the end, the moon came into view again, but it wasn't laughing at me with scorn. It looked truly sad, as if it was crying. You bastard. So you weren't laughing at me. You cried as you watched me fall. My weak, broken voice barely escaped my throat, and I thought that I could still speak. I'm not sure if I was actually making any sound, though. Now I think back on it, it was perfectly silent in that moment. The sound of the wind I'd heard before. The sound of the sirens. The sound of crashing into the building time and time again. All of those sounds had disappeared from the world. The silence was unbroken, and I thought to myself how bad it was. In my life up until that moment, I'd never experienced such a profound silence. It was an impossible silence. I thought it was the end. I thought I was done for. Tomosane! Oh. Hi. Hasaki. Tomosane! Tomosane! You're safe. Yeah, you protected me, so I'm safe. I broke my promise so many times. I'm glad I was able to keep it this time. Yeah, thank you, Tomosane. Then, can this be the end? You liar. Liar? Are you trying to break your promise again? Promise? That's right, you promised.
This summer you said we were going back to the village.
The village?
That's right, Sawaimura. We were going to go together. And we were going to climb that hill one more time together. We were going to see the blooming sunflowers again together.
That hill, huh?
Yeah, that hill I could never climb when I was younger. The hill where you found me on the day Dad died.
That hill?
Yeah.
That's not a promise a hero should make.
But a promise is a promise.
A promise is a promise. Hasaki usually never asks for anything from me. But still, I was so terrified. I walked so far to get here. So now, Yuki-ne. Okay. Sunflowers. Hill of Sunflowers. To pray is to think about the meaning of life. Ludwig Joseph Johann Wittgenstein, June 11th, 1916. Kimura? Do we really have to hike up this mountain? Aren't there buses that go to the village? Jeez, what are you complaining for now? It's not that far. No one asked you to come anyway. Will Hasaki be okay walking so far?
I'm just fine.
A summer day. We walked along the side of the road. The rays of a summer sun pierced us. A blue sky stretched overhead. Great white clouds dotted the sky. The trees were full of green. We walked through just such a scene. Every time the wind blew, I smelled the wild grass, the babbling of a brook, the smell of earth under our feet. My father was born in this town. It was called Sawaimura. I know a lot about this village. For instance, I know the autumn breeze, the season when the valleys of Sawaimura are dyed with a beautiful scarlet sunset. When I first saw the trees bathed in scarlet, I was at a loss for words. Yep, I was at a loss for words. Apparently I'm at a loss for words because I can't read today. And the fly is still here. Go away! When they saw that, Tomo-ni-san and Yuki-san laughed at me. Wait. Tomo-ni... Are we in frickin', Hasaki's perspective then? For instance, I know the chill of winter. The winters here are colder than in Tokyo. The clouds floating in from the ocean sprinkle endless snowflakes upon the village. During the winter, all the children romp through a snowy wonderland, throwing snowballs, building snowmen, and even constructing little igloos. For a child, it was heaven on earth. That's one of the best memories I have of my childhood. For instance, I know the greening spring. The spring in Sawaimura brings change to every pastoral landscape. The white land is suddenly alive with green. The cherry blossoms fall upon yesterday's snows. The one season when the cherry blossoms are free to dance. The season where we see life in all its vigor. And the budding of new green leaves on all the trees. I like the cherry blossoms, but I love to watch the green buds upon the Zelkova's branches. The sun filtering through an early spring canopy is perhaps more precious than any of the world's treasures. Then, when the verdant green of the Zelkova gradually deepens into a lusher shade, summer comes. The summer in Sawaimura is hot and muggy. The beams of the sun seem to illuminate the entire world. But the shade under a tree's boughs can be far cooler than any shelter from the sun in Tokyo. Sawaimura is just such a village. So, why did we come all the way out here again? I understand that he finally got out on bail and all, but this whole trip is just a pain in the butt if you ask me. Out on bail? I was finally starting to enjoy the atmosphere out here in the mountains when Kimura-san spoiled the mood with his complaints.
You're ruining the atmosphere.
Huh? How am I doing that? We're finally out here in the country and all you do is complain. It's not like we asked you to come either. You just decided to tag along. Yeah, I guess so, but this is my job, you know? Oh, come on. We already know that he's not going to be convicted. There's no way you're going to find any dirt to base a good article on. Sure, but there are still a lot of people out there that are interested in what happened. You don't get it, do you? If you write about what happened in this village, I'll kill you. Deke! This is a peaceful village. Don't disturb the peace. Yes, sir, as you say. The end of summer. It was a month after that happened. For some reason, it was decided that a ceremony would be held in honor of my father. That's why we were walking along this same familiar road. The same road where we walked next to our father. I walked this same road the first time I came to Sawaimura with my father.
Nah!
The promised place. That's how I thought of it back then. Even now, this place makes my heart race. Last time I was here with my father, I guess we are in Hasaki's perspective, but we can see her sprite too, so that's weird. Even then, my heart was racing. It was the first time I met my Nissan, yep. I heard that we lived together 3 years before that, but I was too young to remember. I didn't know what kind of person he was. My heart raced with anticipation.
Tomosane!
Hasaki. The person who turned to look at me was my brother. It was just like the first time we met. He looked scary, but he was actually an incredibly kind brother.
Tomosane, did we make you wait?
Yeah, I've been standing here for ages. Jeez, look at the time. Wow, why do you have an alarm clock with you? The people in this village don't pay much attention to the time, and it's not like I own a wristwatch. Huh? What about your cell phone? Are you stupid? There's no way I'd get a signal out here. What did you say? That's scary. What if there was an emergency and someone got hurt? I told you, no one asked you to come. Go home if you want. Yeah, why did you come, Kimura-san? I'm investigating.
Oh, are you now? You're such a good little reporter. Just so you know, I'll kill you if you write an article about what happened in this village.
Eek! No, don't make fun of my D3 like that! Jeez, this guy really gets on my nerves. So you really did get out on bail? They did say that they wanted me. They did say that they wanted to help me blend into society again someday. And there was a lot of evidence that you really did have multiple personalities. So he got arrested because of the shit Takuji did? Awesome. Great. And you even got stabbed while you were trying to stop that accident from happening. I'm surprised they didn't want to put me in an institution or something, though. But Mamiya Takuji-kun is gone now. And that's right. Mamiya Takuji's personality never surfaced again after that day. Or rather, no one else's personality ever took control of my body again. From the time I wake up in the morning until the time I sleep at night, I live my life normally, without a hint of discontinuity. All the symptoms of dissociative identity disorder were completely cured. Alright then, sure. Well, Mamiya Takuji-kun accomplished his objective. He'll never appear again. So did all those people, like, fucking Kimika and Megu and Satoko and Yasuko and... Well, Nishimura was already dead besides all that. So they all died, all the people who followed Takuji, they just leaped off the building and died. So like, who's even alive still at this point in the game? Just these four? Like, I'm trying to think, because... Yeah, that would have to be the case, right? Unless, like, some randos, like Inuma or Kiyoshi, weren't followers of, Takuji's. Or Numata, also. Okay. Let's get going. We have to walk to the Mamiya house. Wait, no, Katomi's technically still alive, right? Huh? We have to walk more?
Of course we do. You really should go home, Kimura-san.
Don't say that, you're being too cold. I'm back.
Oh, okay. Oh, Tomosane, you're early. Ah, Yuki-san, right? Yeah, it's me, Yuki-ne. It's been a while, Hasaki-chan.
Explain this shit, please. Huh? What's wrong? Let's go inside already. Yeah. When I was released, I was entrusted to this village. I'm sure that part of it was just because they didn't want the mass media to harass me, but I'm also certain that's not the only reason why the doctors decided this village would be the best place for me. So now I have to travel to the nearest city once a week to see a psychologist.
So how did the mountain road to here treat you after all this time? How is it for you, Yuki-san? I was born in this village, so I don't really care one way or another.
What are you talking about? Earlier you were making a fuss because there's no internet out here.
But how am I supposed to look up stuff in... encyclopedia? I guess. Without the internet. There's so much stuff I don't know. That must be a reference to something I don't get, but okay. Who the hell uses encyclopedia to do research in the first place? At least use Wikipedia to do it. Don't underestimate the power of encyclopedia. I guess it's a website that I've never heard of. Okay. I've heard of Wikipedia, duh. Because I went to school in America and every teacher was just like, don't use Wikipedia. And I don't know about that. We all got here pretty early though. Yeah, I didn't expect you guys till evening. What? You guys were still 15 minutes late, and I was the one waiting up on you guys. The end of summer. Even at the end of summer, the sun shone high in the sky. Cumulo Nimbi gathered strength far off in the distance. Those clouds would probably rain torrents of water later. The season was coming to an end. The day of Dad's death had finally come. It had been 8 years since that day. Oh, 8 years. Since Hiro died? So then you were 10? In that flashback? Or I guess 11 on the day that shit with Takuji happened. And so we all returned to that same village, Sawaimura. It's the place where Hasaki and I met, and the place where I met Yuki and Master as well. Well, I was living with Hasaki for a while before, but she was just a baby, so she didn't remember me. Tomorrow they would hold a ceremony for my father. Though this year wasn't actually a notable anniversary of his death. The closest would be the 10th anniversary, but it still hadn't been quite 10 years. But our grandmother, who still lives here, said that it was normal to hold a ceremony for the 7th anniversary of a death in the Buddhist tradition. I told her it had actually been 8 years since he died, of course. I think that the ceremony was really being held for my sake. It had been such a long time. It'd been a long time since I came back to this village. I don't care about those stuffy Buddhist anniversary traditions, but I'm sure a lot of my old acquaintances would come back to the village if we held an event. That's probably why they were doing it. A monk came to see us at the temple. He recited some kind of sutra. I listened to the boring sutra. Will he just get on with it already? That's all I was thinking. I appreciated all the stuff that my grandmother was doing for me, but it was honestly just a pain. I looked out the window. The bright rays of the sun still rained down on the land outside. The sky is blue today. Don't talk while the monk is reciting the sutras. Don't you like the blue sky? You were the one who said you hated it. What do you mean? I told you that I really like blue skies after that. Yeah, but that's only because it's easier to light a cigarette when the weather is good. Why, is that not a good enough reason for you? Didn't you hate blue skies, Yuki-san? Well, I mean, yeah. Don't you think the sky is really scary? The sky is scary? Because I fell from the sky once. Oh. Oh, now that you mention it, I fell twice. But you're still alive, right? The first time it was me, and the second time, it was Tomosane who protected you. Yeah, but I actually survived doing it. That's because you're a hero. Heroes don't die. Heroes don't die, huh? When the ceremony is over, let's go see the sunflowers again. Oh, that sounds good. Let's go. Hasaki, will you be okay? It's a long walk. Of course I'll be okay. I climbed that hill when I was really little. But you were used to living out in the sticks. Now you're used to the city. If she can't walk anymore, then you can just carry her. There's no problem. Don't decide that for me. What's wrong? Aren't you the hero here? Why does a hero have to act like a servant now? Whoa, it's amazing. There are so many I can't speak. There are so many sunflowers. This is the first time I've seen them this year too. Really? Yeah. I knew you were coming, so the two of us decided we wanted to see them together with you. Decided. We didn't really make a decision like that, but we had a sort of unspoken agreement. But if we were going to go see them, there's no reason why we wouldn't wait for Hasaki to be with us. This hill is one of those places. I didn't know the sunflowers are so big. Yeah, they're huge. I've grown a lot since last time, so I thought they would look way smaller. I don't know why my brain's short-circuiting today. Either way, sunflowers are still taller than a person. You're closer to the flower now, so they probably look even bigger than before. Oh, that's right. I was so small that I could barely see the tops of them. That's probably it. And besides that, there are things in the world that are always going to be bigger than you, no matter how much you grow. Yeah, the sunflowers will always be big. What's wrong? You haven't said anything in a while. Yeah. What? You think the sunflowers are still just depressing? You always said they look like they're reaching out to the dead. No, I don't really think that anymore. Oh, well that's good. You think? Well, yeah. They don't need to face toward the dead anymore. So there are no flowers that reach out to the dead now. That's right. Come on, let's keep going. Yeah. We climbed up that same hilly road. Hasaki laughed and played as we walked. When she was young, it was really hard for her to climb this hill. Even that foggy hilltop in the distance, which she thought she could never reach, was now a pleasant walk to the top. That was a scene which changed with the passing of time. Wow! It's so pretty! Wow! I can't believe how big the sky is! So this is what it looks like from the top of the hill? Yeah. Even in my memory, the view from the hill was always beautiful. But at that moment, it was more beautiful than I remembered. It was a perfectly ordinary landscape. It was a perfectly ordinary world. This scene will probably never, ever change. And it was very beautiful. Yuki. How long do you have? What do you mean? Funny you could be here forever, but we both know that you can't. I see. So, she is still an alternate personality right now, but she said that that symptoms of it are gone. Whatever. The sky is so pretty. Yeah. If this was some arrogay, then you'd find out I was just a vengeful spirit, and the real Yuki-san was actually living her life without a clue about what was happening. But you have a grave and everything. Yeah, it's been quite a while since my body was cremated and turned into ash. The night that I came to Sawaimura, Yuki came back to me. But unlike before, her personality didn't take the place of mine. She just hung around in my vicinity like some kind of ghost. Are you a ghost? Who knows? Maybe I'm just proof that your brain still isn't working like it should. Then you're a hallucination. Don't you think so? Because if I'm not, then... If not, then what? Yuki-san, there are clovers over here. Seriously? Then there might be a 4-leaf clover. A giggling Yuki ran over to Hasaki. A hallucination. If she was a hallucination, then the fact that Hasaki could see her too means that... I looked up at the blue sky. The sky is the most distant world that a human can ever lay eyes upon. You could even say that the distance separating us from that world is infinite. And that's what we have hanging above us at all times, spread over our heads. If you think about it, that's really bizarre. We live on the ground, surrounded by finite things, small things, things which change as time passes. Those are the things we're surrounded by as we live out our lives. We live out our normal lives surrounded by those things. But directly above us, there's something that none of us can ever reach. None of us can ever know where that limit even lies. The infinite is always spread over our heads. Hanging above this common scene, there is an infinite vastness which is always present. That's just the world we live in. It's not how things are in the world that is mythical, but that it exists. Viewing the world as a limited whole, it is this that is mystical, right? Yeah, that's it. How's your search for a 4-leaf clover going? I can't find any at all. Is that so? No. Neat. I like how Tomosane looks more like Tomosane now, so to speak. The two of them were trying with all their might to find a 4-leaf clover. Why do they need to find something like that? I remember searching for 4-leaf clovers when I was a child, but I never managed to find one. A 4-leaf clover. For some reason, that word made me recall the image of a golden angel in my memory. One golden angel is worth a prize toy. By the way, you can get a prize for 5 silver angels too. Okay. It's just that in my mind, the 4-leaf clover that I can never find is like one of those rare golden angels, since you could trade just one golden angel for a prize. When I told Hasaki about it, she said, I've never seen a golden angel, but the silver ones aren't that hard to get. I've seen a bunch of those. And you've gotten the prize before? I collected 4, but I could never get the last one. Pretty soon I forgot about it. Then I remembered when I finally found another one. Oh, I had 4 of these before. She had 4 at one point, but she lost them somewhere. Even though she carefully collected them for so long, eventually she lost interest and forgot about them. When she finally found the last one, she remembered that she'd been collecting them. I can't find any 4-leaf clovers. I think I found one in my life, but only one. It was in front of the library in my town. I don't know why I was there looking for clovers, but I was. If you can't find it, then you need to keep looking. You can just keep looking until you find it. But once you do find it, if Yuki or Hasaki really did find that lucky 4-leaf clover here on the hill, then, well, that's why it's probably better that she didn't find that last angel. It's better to have one last something to look for. Nope. Ha! Found one! Yuki yelled out. I found you, my lucky 4-leaf clover! No, you really did. Yuki plucked the 4-leaf clover, the symbol of good luck, the golden angel that is worth a prize all on its own. Yuki laughed as she held the clover up to the sky. I didn't think I would actually find one. These aren't as rare as I thought they were. That's because you guys were looking for it. Seeing clovers makes me want to find one. Really? It makes you want to find one? Yeah, if there's a plant that'll bring people happiness, then they'll go look for it. That's just what people do. But once you find that plant... That's right, once you find it, the game is over. Why is that? Because a game can only be a game if it has an end. There doesn't have to be. There does. Once the sun goes down and the bell rings, telling you to go home, then you have to leave. It's telling you that playtime is over. Then why don't you just destroy the bell? That's crazy. That's terrorism you're talking about. Okay. Without the bell, evening would turn into night, and pretty soon you wouldn't be able to play either way. In the darkness, you can't step on each other's shadows. You can't play in the sand, and you can't kick the can. When the sun goes down, it has to end. It has to end. Yuki! Yuki-san! You two can be happy in the future. Together. Stop messing around. Don't say something so selfish. Is it selfish? Of course it is. You're just going to disappear. Someone who selfishly disappears doesn't have the right to say that. Someone who selfishly disappears? You disappeared on us for a long time too, didn't you? But I came back after it all. I came back to you guys. I told you. That's because you're the hero. That's the hero's special privilege. I'm not the hero, so now... Here, look. The sun is already setting. Playtime is over. Yuki, you're... Playtime is over. Oh, it's almost time. Yuki closed her eyes. I could do nothing as I watched her. Yuki had walked alongside me every day till now. Yuki had walked alongside me as we climbed this hill. Once I left this hill, it would be over. Aren't you getting hungry yet? Huh? Yeah, I'm really hungry. What? Let's put an end to playtime so we can go home and eat. Yeah! Yuki. What is it, Tomosane? Are you coming home with us? What do you mean? Of course I am. Besides, do you even get hungry? There's a reason that people leave food on a dead person's grave, you know. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Come on, let's get home. Yeah, let's go. Okay. Yuki started running. Hasaki chased after her. I was a little shocked, but I walked after them anyway. The three of us started to walk down the hill. We walked down this hill, which is closer to the sky than anywhere else. The three of us walked down the hill together. No. Okay. Jeez, you're so slow, Tomosane. Come on, hurry up. You can't do that, Yuki-san. Don't hug him so much. He's mine. No, you can tell. I can tell. Did you think I couldn't see you? Oh, really? You can see me? Of course I can. I do have Sanemi blood in my veins, too. Oh, what? That's why? That's the reason why? Was Hasaki always able to see the different personalities then, if that's the case? Huh. You sound like you're into the occult. I don't care about that occult stuff. And Yuki-san, stop touching him with your chest. Hasaki, you're doing the same thing. I'm your sister, so it doesn't matter. Oh, come on, Hasaki-chan. You shouldn't monopolize him. I'm not monopolizing him or anything. You're just some kind of curse on him or something, Yuki-san. If you get too close to him, he might get sick or worse. Whoa, that's too cruel. Don't discriminate against me just because I'm a ghost. That's not my problem. Besides, I know No! Tomosane, you did naughty things with Yuki-san, didn't you? Oh, gigs up. Huh? What? Don't underestimate the power of the Sanemi family. Jeez, you should just go rest in peace, Yuki-san. The Sanemi family has nothing to do with that. In the end, they didn't have any real powers, right? But I really do have those powers. And you're a ghost, so don't haunt my Tomosane. That's no fun. I really am grateful for everything, but I don't like ghosts to try to steal my Tomosane in the night. I'm not going to steal him. He doesn't belong to anyone to begin with. No, he belongs to me. Does he really? That's really immoral, you know. It's better than doing dirty things with a ghost. This is... What? How are you having a conversation with Yuki? Because I can see her? How can you see her? I don't know. All I know is that I can see her. What? Now Hasaki-chan is hallucinating too? I'm not! Anyway, if you do dirty things with Tomosane again, I'll kill you. Okay. But I'm already dead. I'll kill you a second time. But I'm 007. Okay. Ow, 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 ow! Stop it, Hasaki! Come on, Hasaki. I was the one who saved you. Don't be so mean. Hey, Yuki, don't pull on me! Hasaki and Yuki were both giggling by now and pulling me in opposite directions. On one side was my sister. On the other side was a ghost. Or maybe a hallucination. I don't get it. Then Yuki said something. Wouldn't it be amazing having a girlfriend that's just in your head? I don't age, so I'll always be the cute Yuki-chan that you fell in love with. Shut up, you're just a ghost. Ghosts still have basic human rights. No, they don't. It's like you're saying that two-dimensional girls have human rights too. Why, you little... The sun fell in the sky and a waning moon rose far off in the distance. A perfectly ordinary world. A perfectly ordinary life. Could you call this ridiculous life we're living ordinary? Hasaki-chan, you should really go find yourself a boyfriend. It's not healthy to be in love with your brother. I don't want to hear that from a ghost. Being a ghost isn't as bad as being his sister. That doesn't make sense. Haven't you ever heard the story of the peony lantern? A romantic relationship with a dead person is never going to work out well. That's a story from a long time ago. Things are different now. I don't think something like that will ever change. You'll suck the life out of Tomosane if you get too close to him. What do you mean? Haven't you ever heard of a guardian angel? That's just superstition. I'm pretty sure talking about ghosts is already solidly in the realm of superstition. Besides, it said online that long-distance relationships never last for very long. You kids are so spoiled nowadays. In the Anorex of Confucius, it says that distance is no obstacle if two people really love each other. There's way too much distance between a living person and a dead person. Love can conquer even that distance. That doesn't make sense. Neither do you. Even after Dad's memorial ceremony ended, Yuki never disappeared. Hasaki and I were the only ones who were ever able to see her. Okay, well that's nice, I guess. Hasaki doesn't have to go to the hospital like I do, but the doctors would probably diagnose her with PTSD resulting from brain damage she suffered at the time of her fall. We don't actually know why Hasaki and I can see Yuki. We don't know if she's a ghost or just a hallucination. Regardless, the two of us can talk with her, play with her, and even laugh along with her. We don't know how long it'll last. These happy times could even end tomorrow. But that same statement applies to everything in our lives. The Yuki in front of me could disappear at any moment. In truth, that same anxiety extends to every existence in this world. So I won't think about it anymore. The road that leads endlessly up the hill. The peak that lies foggy in the distance. It's just like our own journey through the world. There's no use worrying about what lies at the peak. We have only to enjoy the journey up the slope. Okay. Credits? Maybe? Possibly? This is a white screen right now. Oh. Still just white there. Is this credits? Or is it just being weird? Oh, they are credits. They're just light blue text on white. What the hell is the point of that? I can't even make that out. Okay, well, I guess that's one of the endings then. So I'm assuming there's 2 total endings then. So, I do like that ending. It's interesting how they managed to keep Yuki alive, I suppose, and it's also interesting to know how exactly, what happens after the 19th, because we never saw what happened after the 19th on any route. Because, like, I think some of them didn't even end on the 19th, like, I think Looking Glass Insects and Which Dreamed It, and Jabberwocky, actually, didn't end on the 19th. Or maybe Which Dreamed It did end on the 19th, but not, like, right at the end of the 19th. So, yeah, because, like, in Down the Rabbit Hole 2, Takuji jumps off the roof and Ayana starts spouting nonsense. And then in It's My Own Invention, Takuji jumps off the roof, but we don't see Ayana spouting nonsense, so, yeah. I like how this game really managed to subvert my expectations with each passing chapter. I know I shouldn't really be talking about that right now since we're not at, like, the end of the game, because there's still more to it. But that's just something that I really want to stress about this game, how it managed to subvert my expectations, like, every chapter with what is this game about. Because, like, in the very first chapter, I thought, alright, it's gonna follow Yuki and Zakuro as they, like, bullshit around and solve the meaning of the universe. And then Down the Rabbit Hole 2 happens, and I'm like, okay, this is probably a time loop with differences in each loop. And then It's My Own Invention happens, and I'm like, okay, this is all the same stuff again, but from Takuji's perspective. So, are we exploring more of this in particular time loop before we move on to the next one, or what are we doing here? And then Looking Glass Insects happens, and I'm like, alright, I don't know anymore. And then Jabberwocky happens and flips the whole story on its head. And then from there, it just goes crazy. And even Which Dreamed It threw in a massive twist to that. Like, it's crazy how the story managed to, like, change itself, like, so much with each passing chapter. Because, like, if you asked me during, Looking Glass Insects, like, alright, who would you say are the 3 most important characters to the story of the game? I would be like, Zakuro, Takuji, and Yuki, probably. But then, like, at this point, if you asked me, I would say Tomosane, Yuki, and Hasaki. So, yeah, Yuki stayed relevant throughout the whole thing, but, well, she actually didn't do much in It's My Own Invention or Looking Glass Insects, because she kind of wasn't there. Because she was Takuji, but still. Or Tomosane, I guess. That's something weird, though, like, I don't know. Wouldn't Tomosane's, like, it would still say on his birth certificate that he's Tomosane, so how the fuck would he sign up to go to a school, under the name Takuji, when he's not? When that's not, like, his real name. It's strange, but I don't know. It makes enough sense, I guess. But either way, I did really like that ending. And this chapter, too. As far as, like, something else that I want to talk about, H scenes, this game was, like, wild with them. It definitely could have calmed down a little bit more if it wanted to, but it didn't want to, so, yeah. I'm just glad, though, that come the end of the game, that the game didn't just devolve into sex whenever it felt like, outside of It's My Own Invention. It's My Own Invention went to it whenever it fucking wanted to. But the rest of the game didn't really. Like, we didn't ever have any bullshit, like, there weren't any H scenes with, like, Hasaki or anything like that, which makes me happy. Definitely makes me happy, actually, because that would be weird. Like, because I know this game does say at the beginning of it, like, there's a disclaimer, every character in this game is at least 18 years old, but then there's Hasaki, and you're like, yeah, that is not true. But still, I guess that means that's gonna be it for this episode. Next episode, we will go back into Jabberwocky right there for the choice, and we will say, of course it is, I guess. Because I said that's not all before, right? I think I'd have to go back to figure that out, but yeah. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. If you liked it, then be sure to press the like button, and if you didn't like it, then fuck you too. Remember to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all my videos and stuff. And as always, my name is Godzi, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye!